Welcome back to Metro.
Shut up. Seriously. One little flub up with the keyboard and you never get lived down. But anyway, we're back to Metroid Prime. We now have the Wave Beam, which unlike previous Metroid games is actually a separate beam type that doesn't actually stack with your current power beam. It has different attributes. It's an electric attribute, which means we can actually destroy these fucking bomboos.
It's also wavy.
It's also nowhere near as powerful as the power beam, but yeah.
Ah, Seamus, just get on there and surf that beam. Wait, no, that may have sounded a little bit wrong. Never forget I said that.
Anyway, now that we have the wave beam, a new plethora of possibilities open to us. I don't remember what those possibilities are because it's been a couple of weeks since I recorded this footage and I've still got more I haven't edited together yet.
I do like the big explorable environments that don't have much in the way of loading screens in this game.
Except for the doors.
Except for the doors. The doors, it's pretty seamless. And I like that.
Well, better a door wait to open while something on the other side loads than you enter from one room to another seamlessly with something not quite right.
I just kind of wish that, you know, a lot of other games would be, you know, if at some point Bethesda can ever get their engine to work more seamlessly, that'd be great.
Well, they're gonna experiment with it using Fallout 4.
From what we know, allegedly you're actually going to be able to see through windows. Possibly. I'm not sure if it's been 100% clarified yet. Someone may have said something at some point, I'm not sure.
I don't know what anyone said. All I know is that, in general, it's referred to that Fallout 4, since it's not necessarily Bethesda's baby.
They, like, experiment.
They use it as an experimenting block that they use to test out new procedures
Interestingly,
for things like the Elder Scrolls series.
Unlike a lot of the other naysayers, I'm mostly optimistic for everything except for the voice character. I've seen a lot of other naysayers that kind of ignore the fact that the character is voice and just hate on... well,
you know,
if
one
anyone
thing
has ever been to No Mutants Allowed...
Let me say something that I specifically note with the whole now we have a voiced main character thing. How are the modders going to work around that?
Yeah, they're probably not.
With the standard modding community stuff that there was for stuff like the previous Fallout games and, of course, the Elder Scrolls, with the main character not actually speaking, you never had to worry about whether or not... All you had to worry about was the text on screen and the selection that they had. Now you have to worry about whether or not the character actually says anything in relation to that text or not.
That and the fact that... okay, in terms of roleplay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. This fucks it up. I don't care who you think you are when it comes to role-playing games. Bethesda was unique in the fact that they still did things the old D&D way, as I'll put it, whereby you make up it requires a little bit of, you know, mental effort on your part to think up how the character is speaking.
It also, your decisions, your sort of backstory, your sort of thing, which was it was more applicable in some games than it was in others. I mean, yes, you had a background, but your personality, your decisions, everything that you did in the game, that was down to you. And in that way, your character was your own thing. Now you are playing as a guy and or girl who has basically been in stasis for 100 years. Or 200 years. Or how many years?
That's all right.
Who has an existing background.
Yeah, it's all right that the background is kind of has a base, but I think that a couple of things that you really shouldn't do. Going after your dad in the third game was pushing it. In this game, being married, that's kind of too far. Being married and having a kid, way too far.
But with that in mind, what do you think that... Would you applicate any kind of sort of impersonal sort of what's the word? Backstory or personality onto Samus the way she's usually just been a complete mutant for most of their time? Or do you think she has too much establishment for that to even be a problem?
Well, she's... it's
Especially depending on games like Other M.
It kind of feels... I feel like I can immerse myself more into Samus's character because, yeah, she doesn't talk. And something I gotta say to a lot of people who somehow... I don't know how some people feel more immersed when the character has a voice. That seems crazy to me. And honestly, I'm gonna say people who prefer...
You have to realize
people who prefer the voice.
People who prefer the voice are
Have...
dumb.
I'm not gonna say they're dumb, okay.
No, you have to realize that
I was going to be more harsh, actually. I was going to say, you have no emotion. You have no imagination.
You have no imagination. You have no imagination. People who want to see a voiced character so that they can have a connection to them are those who wouldn't otherwise, who's probably not even targeted this type of game anyway.
It's about roleplay. You put yourself into the character. If you're, I mean, it isn't even a matter like, oh, it's supposed to be your voice. No, you're building the character. If I was building a female character, I would think up a voice for her in my head.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I make up all the characters I do for, like, let's say, for instance, my Gundam stop-motion fiction. Characters like Maria, David, Alexis, Samson. All the characters I have a sort of the way they look, the way they sound in my head. I can make that up on my own without someone telling me that ahead of time. And I'm not really the best role player ever either.
I gotta be honest though, it wouldn't be surprising to me that the voice thing is more popular because
it's more popular because more people just don't have an imagination enough worth having this be any kind of negative issue for.
Well,
the problem.
Yeah, this is what happens when gaming has gone mainstream.
Guys! I think we just missed it, but personal space!
Yeah.
Fucking space pirates.
Back in the day when games were more primitive and thus they were more like Dungeons and Dragons because they were typically based on Dungeons and Dragons.
And people had to have more imagination.
The people playing it would be people who had more imaginations. It was a smaller market. Now that it's a huge, everyone's into it kind of a market, you have so many people who lack imagination.
I think we have so many people who lack everything worth sense in this world. I wouldn't put it past imagination to be kind of low tier on the list of things that are worthwhile.
Yeah, people lack... I mean, one thing that this world definitely lacks is any level of deductive reasoning.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
Fuck you, whatever that was.
Nobody has any deductive reasoning. Just look at our politicians. We allowed these people in because even though so many people just couldn't figure it out in their heads. Oh, politicians are corrupt.
And you know what's worse is that I hear you ever hear the whispers, people who think, well, we'll be better off once the older generations are gone. And I'm like, dude, you have no bloody idea what you're thinking. Once the old generation is gone, we're fucked.
Oh yeah. We don't know how to do anything. I suppose you think that...
I suppose you think once all the old people are gone, that life will automatically be better. No. Once the older generations are gone, we're doomed.
I mean, all you really have to complain about in terms of old people is that they're a bit, I guess, socially inept. If you want to say that they even...
Not just that. Bigotry.
Like, that's our biggest problem.
It is for some of the people I look around
Our
at.
world treats bigotry like it's our biggest problem, even though we're in 11 jillion not wars. Killing people for no reason. All that stuff. But bigotry, oh no. We're getting too political.
Yeah, we shouldn't bother. I'm just like, you want to fight bigotry, you might as well try to beat down an 11-inch thick concrete wall with paper.
Bigotry will
That's
always
not
exist.
going away.
it's never gonna go away. It's part of our nature. People want to deny that. They think we're gonna evolve past that. It's becoming more ingrained in us over time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bigot and I don't deny it. I fucking hate certain fucking games. I don't give a motherfucking shit what people think. Sonic Heroes is garbage!
You overlord the mic again.
I don't care. Sonic Heroes is garbage!
It is. And, you know, while I did kind of enjoy it as a kid, I trying to replay it now, I have to agree with you. It's... Those controls are just nothing that I could pick up and play.
Shadow the Hedgehog, on the other hand, is nowhere near as bad.
It's
Although some people would disagree with me that that Sonic Heroes is still a better game than that. Fuck you. Fuck you in the anus!
If you just hate Shadow for its story, I don't see how Sonic Heroes necessarily has a trump over that. Its story wasn't very good either.
What story?
Exactly. Neither of them really were. Neither of those games were really relevant outside of saying Shadow is still alive. Both of them. That's all they did.
The only thing I can really say about them is that they were basically fill-ins for the generational gap between the Sonic Adventure games and whenever the Xbox 360 Sonic 06 game was. And actually, you know what? Let's just ignore that any games exist beyond the adventure games. That's all I want to do ever again. I have said it numerous times, Sonic Generations is going to be the absolute last Sonic game I will ever play for this channel. Maybe. But that means I'm still a long goddamn way away from that, because I have way too many Sonic games!
Sonic! Gotta go feast.
I gotta do the Game Gear games.
Oh.
There's the handheld advanced games that I haven't gotten to yet. I'll probably get to advanced 2. I'll probably get to advanced 2 within the year.
Yeah. Oh no.
But anyway, no, bigots. We all are, and there's no denying that, and there's no solving it. So, I hate to say to those people who are complaining about not trying because you're not making a difference either way, because bigots are going to exist no matter where you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one thing if
I mean,
people
I will say this: I have no, I will not. I really do not care for. What am I trying to say? Maybe I shouldn't say it at all. We're trying to concentrate on a game that we are not talking about, even in the slightest.
Well, yeah. There's not much to talk
Power Armor!
after a point. Well, we already went over Power Armor several parts ago.
With that in mind... Wait a minute.
Personally, I don't know about you. I like powered armor that's bulky, but that's mainly just like an aesthetic thing for me. Like, the real powered armor that I've seen... Well, it's not really like armor, but what I've seen is basically like... it was a thing... Some Asian... It may have been Japanese. Like, it was these... You know, it was these things attached to their body, and that made them run faster. Well, not faster, but it made them... It made them less exhausted as they ran.
Look at that. So many planets to blow up.
But the concept kind of exists, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how far along it is.
Aesthetically, for me, things that are like power armor, I like them to be bulkier more towards the top than they are in the middle.
Yeah.
I really prefer the middle part of any given sort of armor to be more on the thin side. See Buzz Lightyear Star Command versus the actual Buzz Lightyear toy. I wish the Star Command figures were a lot better than they were, because to me that would have been the best of both worlds.
Yeah. What do you think of Space Marines? As in Space Marines in Warhammer 40,000.
They're okay. They're kind of a bit, they're more like toy Buzz Lightyear than they are.
Yeah, they're more like toy Buzz Lightyear.
You're a Star Command Buzz Lightyear. Planet's crust is primarily etheric ore. Planet Zebes is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world of space pirates! So many planets to blow to bits. I don't even know where to start. I'm glad the space pirates managed to keep track of my hit list.
And that's the way Samus should be thinking. She's just thinking, oh, how many ways
can I blow everything up? Ooh, what do we got? Super missiles!
How many ways?
Can I destroy everything?
I mean, look at how excited she gets whenever she gets a new weapon.
Yay! But, yeah, that's enough for that part of Metroid Prime. We will be back next time.
Metrio!
Shut up!